Okay, so here's the bonus clip from the Jon Kinzenbaw interview, and it's one that some of you have been asking for, the story of his 4440. That said, stick around and watch till the end because the details of the backstory are kind of interesting. Anyway, without further ado, here's Jon.
The old fellow that had it sold oil leases to one of the oil companies, and as a payment for his oil leases, he wanted a new line of machinery to farm with. So he had to get him these 4440s. He had 3 of them. Then he decided maybe he liked the idea of renting the farm ground out. So he parked the tractors in the shed. One of the tractors he used to help his renters farm, and he put 1,500 hours on it. The middle tractor he used helping out, hauling grain and whatever, and it had 500 hours on it. This tractor sat in the shed and only had 47 or 48 hours when it went on the sale. The group of people around it were quite intrigued with it being low-hourred. I was in Florida that winter, so my friend Bill Diedrich bid it for me, bought it back for me, and I told him to buy the first one because the second one would cost almost as much, and it proved to be pretty close because the guys that didn't get the first one jumped on the second one, and it went crazy as far as price. So, but neither one of the, or not one of the 3 tractors brought what they could have or should have. I think if I had to do over, I'd have had him buy all 3 of them because today you could triple your money on any of them.
Okay, so here's the rest of the story, kind of Paul Harvey style. So in the early 80s, they found oil on Wayne Crooks's farm. That's the old fella that Jon was referring to. And he had a farm, like a 160-acre farm, just southwest of Mount Sterling, Illinois. So they find oil there in 1981, and this Texas energy company comes calling, and Wayne drives a real hard bargain with them. They got 75% of the oil rights, and in exchange, he got 800 acres of prime farm ground, 1 county over, and a brand new line of machinery. So Henry Energy spent almost $236 grand on 9 pieces of equipment. Those 3 power shifts at $33,900 a piece, a Titan II combine, a 6-row corn head, a 5-bottom plow, which I don't think he ever actually used, a 740 loader for one of the tractors, and a GMC twin-screw grain truck. For those of you wondering, I think most of it was purchased at Ben Kitty Equipment in Carthage. Anyway, like Jon mentioned, he decided it'd be a better idea to rent that farm ground, and he barely ended up using any of the equipment. He always kept it shedded and started it regularly for, the next 27 years, but he never really used any of it. And he passed in October of 2008, and about 6 months later, Sullivan held a 2-day estate auction, March 5th and 6th of 2009. And I'm sure most of you have seen the famous picture that Machinery Pete took while he was there of the 3 4440s. Anyway, the attendance was huge. There were like 3,000 people there, and 1,300 of them were registered bidders. Jon bought the 47-hour tractor for $58K. The second one, which had 692 hours on it, brought $51K, and the 1,800-hour tractor brought $43K. Incidentally, that was the one that had the loader on it, too. The combine had 478 hours on it when it sold, and it brought 50 grand, which I believe is an auction record for Titan IIs that still stands today. And the grain truck, which had like 4,000 miles on it, it was sweet, brought 31.5. So, and as you can see, Jon's 4440 is living a pretty cushy retirement at the Innovation Center there in Williamsburg. They start it regularly to keep the belts and hoses from dry rotting. And I believe when I was there this past September, it had 52 hours on it. Still has most of the plastic on the seat, and the lift cylinder hanging on the back has most of the plastic on it too. So anyway, there's the backstory on Jon's 4440. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.